Habibi, shalom, saludos, hola, manishma. I'll be on shortly, guys. I'll be on shortly. Good afternoon to you too. Good afternoon to you, Aremis. Doc Mick from Florida. Saludos to you too. So, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, welcome back once again to the greatest watch market update. Unbelievable but true. As you know, me and Sweet Kid Kino always try to bring you the truth in what's happening out there in the watch industry. We know wishy-washy here. We're not playing around with you people. We try to tell you the truth and what's happening, and we try to teach you things that they won't dare to teach you, because it's not into their convenience to teach you all these things that I'm going to teach you today. Today we're going to be talking about something very, very important, and it's about polishing your Rolex watches, polishing your AP watches, your Pateks, whatever it is that you like, your choice, whatever it is. We're going to be talking about that, and I also have a watch market update for you guys as well. But before I get into all that, I ask all of you for one favor. These are instructions that Sweet Kid Kino has given me, that we must do this from the start of our show. And that is to let you guys know that to please give us a thumbs up, or subscribe to our channel, or click that bell, or hit the bell. See? All that stuff. You know what I'm trying to say. This channel, we're not here trying to sell you a watch, and we're not here trying to buy your watch. We're not selling here hoodies. We're not selling here caps. Maybe one day we're going to start selling hoodies and caps, but at this moment, we're not even doing that, So you can help us out with a like, a thumbs up, a big thumbs up, or you can help us, with subscribing to the channel, we can get exposed out there in a good way, not in a bad way. You know what I'm trying to say, ladies and gentlemen. You know what I'm trying to say. Ladies and gentlemen, I want to start by telling you, I want to tell you which are the hardest watches to allocate from your favorite brand, the king of watches, the crown, you know what I'm trying to say, right? And I'm going to give you that. I'm going to give you that so you guys, you can do two things here. You can disagree with me, which I love when you guys disagree with me, and you can put up there the way you think they should be put, from 1 through 10, the watches. All right? I don't know if I explained myself right or wrong, but I'm trying to, you know how it is. The hardest Rolex watches to allocate from your AD, to get from them, And I'm going to start with the first watch. This watch is an off-catalog watch. It is the Le Mans, the Rolex Daytona Le Mans, yellow gold with the black dial and the white gauges. This is, off catalog. It's a very hard watch to get, but that's an off catalog. Our number one watch that is very, very hard, almost impossible to get from your Rolex AD. It is no other than the Rolex stainless steel, Daytona, Panda, with the white dial and the black ceramic bezel. That is the number one, the hardest one to get. Number one, right there. Number two, at this moment, is the Rolex Daytona yellow gold. Rolex Daytona yellow gold with the green dial and the gold gauges. Remember, feel free to put them the way you want to put them. 1, 2, 4, 5, the way you want to do it. I'm just giving you what I believe is the hardest Rolex watches to get from your Rolex AD. And as I told you, number 2 is the Rolex Daytona yellow gold with a green dial with the gold gauges, champagne gauges. Okay? Coming in at number 3 is the Rolex Daytona Oyster Flex yellow gold with the Tiffany blue dial, turquoise, turquoise, that color. You know what I'm trying to say. That one comes in 3rd place as the hardest watch to get from your Rolex AD. Please feel free to disagree with me. Number four, ladies and gentlemen. Does anybody know what I'm going to say for number 4? Does anybody have an idea? And the reason I'm asking you guys is because I've been giving you classes regarding the watch I'm going to talk about. So let's see where you guys are at. Maybe you know what I'm going to say. Nobody knows what number 4 is? What I'm going to say? Nobody knows. Okay, no problem. Nobody knows what number 4 is. Well, ladies and gentlemen, number 4 to be picked up from your Rolex AD hard watch to get is no other than the Rolex Land Dweller. The Land Dweller, stainless steel, platinum, rose gold, 36, 40, that one right there, okay? You got it? You know what I'm trying to say. Number 6. No, is it number 6? Yes, number 6 is the Rolex Daytona Platinum. The Rolex Daytona Platinum is pretty hard watch to get as well, ladies and gentlemen. It's a hard watch to get. You put them in order. If you don't like my order, I want to see your order. I like to see people's orders. The way they think is hard to get. All right? Number 7, it is the Rolex GMT stainless steel with a Jubilee bracelet. Does anybody know what I'm going to say? No, tampoco sabe. No saben nada esta gente. Están perdidos. The GMT Rolex Pepsi with a Jubilee bracelet. Unbelievable. With the blue and red ceramic bezel. Very, very hard watch to allocate and get. Very, very hard. Okay? Number 8, it is the Rolex Yacht Master Titanium, with a black dial and a black ceramic bezel, 42 millimeter. This watch is very, very, very hard to get. I've been waiting for this watch for quite some time and I haven't been able to get this watch, but maybe you guys will be able to, get it. I haven't been able to get it. And I have a couple of friends of mine that, have a couple of mom and papa AD stores and nothing yet, Our next watch is the Rolex Sky Dweller. Rolex Sky Dweller, stainless steel with a blue dial with a Jubilee bracelet. Sky Dweller with the blue dial. Very, very, very hard watch to get as well. Guys, I want to see you put something down where you believe, where they should go. Maybe my numbers are wrong, from 1 to, off catalog through 1 through 10, you can tell me something. I don't care. I like that, Even if you get the Rolex stainless steel Sky Dweller with a blue dial and oyster bracelet, it's even hard to. Okay, guys? So even in Jubilee or oyster bracelet, it's hard. The next one is the Rolex Sky Dweller. The Rolex Sky Dweller stainless steel again with the mint green dial. With a Jubilee bracelet or with an oyster bracelet, ladies and gentlemen. You understand me? Those watches are pretty hard to get. In our last watch, this is a study that I have done myself, to be honest. I think I'm going to say this, excuse me for a second. Kino, hoy yo voy a coger toda la responsabilidad del show. I'm taking all responsibility and credit for today's show. Okay? Our last one Our last one is going to surprise you. It's a Rolex stainless steel Oyster Perpetual. You know, pistachio. You know the pistachio. You know, pistachio. You know, these people, Labrador, I don't know. You know, the pistachio, 41 millimeter. It's a very, very hard watch to get from your dealer. And I'm going to tell you why it's so hard. All of them that I told you are very, very, very hard. But this one is, you know, this pistachio one, you know, 41 millimeters, stainless steel, Oyster Perpetual, Oyster bracelet. This is a watch that's basically, I got to be honest with you guys. This is like a starter kit. You know, when you were a young kid and they will give you a tricycle with, you know, those little 2 wheels on the back, you know, like training. Well, this is the watch they give you to start. But in this case, I got to tell you the truth. This is like a 6,000 and change retail watch. And you're not going to believe this when I tell you this. When I tell you this, you're not going to believe this. This is the Rolex stainless steel Oyster Perpetual 41 millimeter pistachio green Labrador. Reference number 134300. With a price of $6,000, you know what I said, and change, $800, $700. And ladies and gentlemen, they're selling this watch at this moment in the secondary gray watch market, you know, these people already started greasing up everybody, you know, greasing and greasing and greasing and greasing and greasing and greasing and greasing, you know, greasing in the back door. Grease, 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 grease. You understand me? These Michiganers have cornered the market with this watch. Whether you want to believe me or not, it's going to be exactly like that. Remember when the Tiffany came out? The blue Tiffany? That they all got it, you know? Todos son lambones. All those lambones got it for themselves. And they didn't want none of you to get it. You know, they got them all. They got all those watches. The same thing is going to happen with that pistachio. Same thing is going to happen, ladies and gentlemen. The same thing is going to happen. And I'm telling you this so you know what's going on. Because the greasing up has started. The greasing up has started. 24 organic watch channel subscribers, 15 thumbs up. It should be 24. But you know why it's not 24? Because the other ones are just spooking around, you know? They're spooking and, you know, trying to see what's going on. Because this is the #1 watch channel in the world, you know? Chosen by no other than Fudinki. Whether you guys want to believe it or not. Remember, we're not popular with the algorithm. Because we're telling you the truth. You understand me? And they put a fence to block me. But that's all right. I'm going to not say no more because, you know, we don't want that to happen. We want to give you a show. So you know what's going on already with the pistachio Labrador. You know, Oyster Perpetual. You know, they're greasing up everybody. So you guys got to be aware of all this. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm going to go into my next subject. Exactly. They come to this channel to learn, Bobby. You know, this is the truth, you know. We don't buy watches here. You know, we don't sell watches here. The only thing we do is tell you the truth. And nobody wants to hear the truth. Nobody wants to hear the truth, Papa. You know, it's with all honesty, nobody wants to hear the truth. People rather hear lies, you know. The sketch than before hearing the truth. They want to hear a lie because this is the way the world is built. Unbelievable but true. You know it, Doc Mick of Florida. You know how this is. And I tried, you know, all this because I have to. I have to tell you the truth because nobody's telling you the truth. This is the only channel, Papi. We, you know, Sweet Kid Kino to me, Joaquin to you. We got to tell you the truth. We are, listen and learn, we are the #1 hated watch channel. We are chosen the #1 most hated watch channel in the world. And we love it. but you, right, Kino? We love it, Kino. Give me five, Bobby. Give me five. We know. I'm telling you, we are number one, and we love it. They can't stand us. They even run. You know, they come, they spook, they look around, and they run. They get scared. You know, but it is the truth. And today, ladies and gentlemen, I'm gonna tell you something else that I promise you. Before the show is over, all of you are gonna say thank you so much, Juan, for always making it funny. You always talk wrinkle, but you always say what it is, the truth, no matter what. You know, and I'm gonna tell you something today, ladies and gentlemen, that you must know. And I'm gonna tell you, ladies and gentlemen. For a couple of weeks, I've had a subscriber, you know, he's called me. He's had the courage to call me and ask me questions about, you know, about polishing and detailing their Rolex watches. And I told him one day I'm gonna make, you know, a live stream, and I'm gonna talk about polishing and detailing your watches, your Rolex watches. And he's patiently waiting, and he always sends me a little message. I'm still waiting. And today, sir, is the day that I'm going to be talking about polishing your Rolex watches and detailing them. Ladies and gentlemen, I want you guys to know, listen and learn. Listen and learn. Polishing and detailing, I repeat, polishing and detailing your watch, your Rolex watch, is not like polishing and detailing your Porsche, you know, your Porsche car. Your Porsche, you know, those 911, you know. ¿Cómo se llama el carro? Carrera, que tú tenías antes. The one you had. A Carrera, you know? It's not the same thing. For you to polish and detail a watch, you know, the watch has to be in critical condition, you know, in critical condition, you know? Exactly. Let them know, Damon, because remember, you've shown me already, one, you need to keep it simple for them. And I'm trying to, but you know, my English is not the most beautiful in the world, so I'm trying. You know, I wasn't very good in language arts, and you know, I don't know, I wasn't good in English, you know. So you cannot be taking your watches just to say, I'm gonna go polish it with Giovanni, the watchmaker in your neighborhood or in your state or the city you live in. You can't. You can't be doing that because, you know, your watch is not, you know, I've seen people taking their watches to polishers, watchmakers, and they have taken a watch, let's say, so you understand me, a Rolex Daytona, and they have basically destroyed it. I'm talking about that the watch was destroyed. I'm talking about, I seen a brand new John Mayer, you know, destroyed. The lugs of the watch, they have destroyed it. So, you know, when you are thinking of taking that watch to get polished, you gotta listen to me. If the watch has a couple of hairlines, a couple of scratches, you know, even a little ding dong, leave it alone, because the watch is still the way it came from factory. Once you take that watch to your Giovanni polisher, you know, Giovanni polisher, the one that's going to give you this, you know, that watch is no more basically factory original from factory. Somebody, you know, did it their own way. And let me tell you, there's people out there, they're butchers, you know. You know, when they say they don't take the patient to that hospital because that hospital, there are a bunch of butchers in that hospital. Well, there's a bunch. And I can tell you from 100%, of all polishers throughout the world, how's that? Throughout the world, I'm telling you, it's a 75, they're butchers, and a 25 that know what they're doing. you know. So you gotta be careful when you take those watches. I am telling you, not only does the polish remove a thin layer from your stainless steel, it removes a thin layer. It destroys the watch completely. You know, it destroys it. If you, like I'm telling you, when you take it to one of those polishers, this has from factory a layer on it, a layer. This is basically why. This is why basically vintage watch collectors, if they see a watch that looks too perfect, they already know that the watch has been polished and it's not original factory. The vintage watch collector wants it with hairlines, scratches, ding-dongs, you know, nicks, all that. The vintage, because I told you once a couple of weeks, and maybe you forgot, but remember that all that in vintage watches is called fingerprints of that watch. They know already that watch is that way. So if you start polishing it, the originality is gone. No more, no sirve. No sirve. And you're thinking still, why is he talking about this? Hold on, I'm gonna get there. I'm gonna get there. Let me drink some water. Listen to me. Listen to me carefully now. When you guys get tired of your Rolex watch model and you want to sell it to one of your favorite Muppet Boiler Room secondary grade watch market dealers, you take him your watch. And the first thing that the watch dealer is going to ask you, the question he's going to ask you, is this polish or factory condition? Right? He's going to ask you that. He's going to say, is the watch polish or factory condition? No sean lambones. Hear me, okay? Hear me. And you, because you're skip hopping around through life like rabbits, you're going to say, no, I polished it. Right there, you got this. Right there. Listen to me. Hold on. Right there. Right there, you got this already. Once you use the word, no, it's polish. He got you now. Now he's going to gouge you. You know, he's going to drop a couple of zeros on that watch. He's going to drop. He's going to say, hold on. So then, you know, basically you already polished it, you know. It's not no longer, you know, original from factory. And you're going to lose, you know, some thousands of dollars. You're going to lose because you said that. I'm trying to tell you is if the watch has a little scratch, hairlines, even a little ding, leave it alone. Leave it alone. Don't be playing with the watch, taking it to Giovanni, the watchmaker that he polishes watches. He's going to destroy your watch. You know, he's going to destroy. Exactly. You know, and I'm telling you this because you guys think that when you go to sell your watch to your favorite, let's say when you're going to go sell your watch to, you know, that guy, Deputy Boxing Black Eyes, or his sidekick, Jiminy Cricket with the Chia Pet spray can hair, and you go there and you looking all good because you took your watch to Giovanni's special polisher and he polished it all off for you, and you showed it to a Deputy Boxing Black Eyes, he's going to ask you, is it polished or, you know, factory condition? And you're going to go, oh, it's polished. You know, I already did a detail. Boom, right there they got you. It ain't no more an original watch. You took off the layer of the stainless steel. You took off the layer of the gold metal watch. You know that? Listen to me, ladies and gentlemen. They destroy these watches. You have lugs in these watches. 4 lugs, you know, with the bracelet that goes connected. I've seen people take a watch that they're polishing it and they polish so much on one of the lugs that it starts, it's this thick, right? It's this thick. And when they keep on polishing it, it becomes just like that. So you have 4 lugs, 3 are normal, or 2 are normal, and 2 are skinny, you know? Skinny here, fat. The watch is destroyed. you know? So you cannot be playing with your watches. I've been hearing people, I'm taking my watch now to get a detail, to get it polished. Papi, that is the craziest thing you can do. Sir, if you're listening to me, I'm giving you the story. Do not do that to your watches. They think that taking a watch to Giovanni polishing and detail is like taking their Cadillac, you know, to get it polished and wax, you know, and all that good stuff, you know, in detail. It's not. You're destroying your watch. You're destroying your watch. So when you hear that Muppet Boiler Room watch dealer asking you, polish or factory condition, and you're smiling, oh no, I polish and I detail, boom, they got you. You're destroyed. Leave the watch the way it is. Don't touch it. Don't play with it. Nobody's gonna tell you this, Papi. I keep on telling you, we're the #1 hated watch channel in the world. Right now, what I'm telling you, ustedes son unos lambones. Ustedes son unos lambones. What I just finished telling you, nobody will tell you in the industry. Nobody will tell you ever in the history what I'm telling you. They will never tell you. But I tell you because I'm stupid like that. Because I'm stupid like that, I tell you. Gino, no te metas en esto ahora. No te metas. Déjame a mí, que yo sé lo que estoy haciendo con ellos. Déjame a mí. Yo le estoy explicando básicamente a ellos todo lo que es. You know, listen to me, ladies and gentlemen. These watch Muppet Boiler Room secondary gray watch market channels, what they like is age and natural wear. You know, that's what collectors prefer. You know, prefer, you know? That's what they want. They want to naturally age. And you guys think that you're taking a 6'2", 6'3" Daytona to Giovanni's special polisher, you're crazy. You're a mashugana. You're so lambones. You're crazy. But nobody's going to tell you what I'm telling you, ladies and gentlemen. I sometimes even ask myself, why do I tell them all these things? Well, I'm not going to be here, you know, forever. Somebody has to tell you the trick. And then when I leave, maybe Damon will take over and he'll make a show and he'll remember, you know, vintage fingerprints, and he'll remember, don't polish your watch if you don't have to. You know, like they say, if it don't itch, if it don't scratch, don't itch. Well, I don't know how to say it. You guys help me out. You know what I'm saying? You know, if it doesn't itch, don't scratch. Leave it alone. But you guys think that your watch is like a car. We're going to take it to the car wax to get detail. You're just destroying your watch, guys. You guys are destroying. They're not going to tell you this, ladies and gentlemen, but I must tell you. You know, I must tell you. Your watch will lose a lot of money. And people are taking their watches, their new watches, to get polished, and they're destroying it. They're destroying it. And they have fun with you. They have fun with you because I'm telling you, you think you're doing something good by telling them, yeah, I did. And you ask, I remember years ago when they would ask me, Juan, so is the watch polished or is it originally factory? And I would always say, what do you keep on asking me that question for? No, I said, listen to me. You've asked me this question throughout the years in life many times, but you never give me a response. So I put him entre la pared y la espada. You know, I put him, you know, when you put somebody against the wall, tell me what you're trying to mean by that. So they had to tell me. You know, they had to tell me. I'm not talking that this happened, it happened many, many years ago. You know, my knowledge is very old, you know? My knowledge is very, very old. If I would tell you everything that I know, you guys will say, this guy's crazy. This is not true. Well, right now what I'm telling you is 100% true. And you might be saying that's wrong because my polish maker in Indiana, he's unbelievable. My polish maker in Montreal, he's unbelievable. You know, Papi, listen to me. You have people out there, they're butchers. They will destroy your watch completely. So if you have a nice GMT, from the late 70s, early 80s, leave it alone. Leave it alone. Don't play with that watch. Even if you see it like, oh man, it has a little hairline, a little scratch, leave it alone. If it don't itch, don't scratch. No lo haga. Mira aquí, no. Tengo 33 organic watch channel subscribers and 22 thumbs up. This is unbelievable. Experience. You know what I'm saying? But again, guys, I can make my shows very, very serious if I want. I really could. But I don't want to. I don't want to make it serious. I want to make it fun for you guys. You have enough of those Michiganers, with all those Muppet Boiler Room secondary Great Watch Market channels who have taken you to the cleaners. We don't want to do that, so we want to make you relax. But I can do a serious show if I want to. I can talk about this in a real serious way, but I'm not going to do it in a serious way. I want to make it fun for you. Because this is the #1 watch channel in the world, chosen by no other than Fudinki. They talk about me. Who's that guy? Who's that guy that's blowing the whistle on everything? He blows the whistle on everything. Papi, I'm going to say something right now to you guys. Since the introduction of social media, these people had a way with you. I'm going to say this, for the last 10 years, YouTube is my television and it's your television. And they've been blowing smoke up your rear end, right? And nobody, I will watch. I said, nobody is talking about the truth. Not one single person dared to say anything about the watch industry. Until Sweet Kid Kino to me, Joaquin to you, we decided to do this. And we opened a can of worms. We opened a can of worms, guys. I'm serious now. I'm out of character. We opened a can of worms. The things that I have shown you, from vintage fingerprints to don't polish your watches, to movement parts come from over there, from the Silicon Valley of watches in Xinjiang. Bobby, come on, man. Let me tell you, we're never gonna be like those channels that they're gonna open the gates and everybody's gonna receive a notification that I'm in the air. That's never gonna happen. I'm in lockdown. You still don't. You guys didn't understand what I said. Fue por la cabeza. But it's what it is. You guys gotta be smart, because these people, every time that they're gonna sell a watch, and you say, excuse me, that the watch has been polished, you're gonna lose $3,000, $4,000 from the watch. You destroyed it, forget it, you're this, that, and they're gonna give it to you because nobody told you about this. And nobody will. They're going to just say to you, no, just a question. This is the question right here now. Is it polish or factory? And you say factory. They say, and then you say, why do you ask me if it's polish or factory? What does that mean? No. It's just to know, factory. The watch is factory. But what does it mean? No. It's factory. Nothing happened. Now, when you say it has been polished by Giovanni the Great, they got you. Papa, you messed up the watch. You took up the layer from the factory of the watch. No matter if the watch is 60 years old and you've never touched it, it has that factory layer. They came from factory. You understand me? Let's go back to 40, 30 years. So not 50, not 60. It has that layer on, that protection they put on it. But then you guys mess it up if you give it to that dude. So you can't do that with your watches. Save yourself that headache, because these people are attacking all of you with that. Remember, they want age and natural wear. That's what they want, age and natural wear. So be smart with your watches. Stop giving your watches to these watchmakers that don't know how to polish and destroy. I'm telling you, I saw a Rolex Daytona that the man was I mean, he was out of his mind. He was destroying his watch. Pretty soon, the watch was polished so much, and the lugs, these lugs right here, the lugs, they got real skinny. If you would have polished it a couple of more times, the lug would have fly off, would have come off. You understand? And that's it. The watch is done. So you got to stop playing with those watches. Leave them alone. Exactly. Exactly. Damon, I really don't want to use the word no more. You can't teach stupid. But, since you said it, I'm going to say it. You just can't teach stupid, And these people, they know, these watch dealers, they know they got, sandbags. They know they got a bunch of sandbags. Papi, I told you yesterday, and I told you, and I'm going to tell you again today. The watch business is a dirty business. It's like a casino. You think you're going to win, you're never going to win. You're never going to win. You buy the watch for 50, they'll give you 35 if you're lucky. You understand me? And then that watch they bought for 35, they sell it for 48. But you're never going to win with these people. So I have to help you guys out, from getting flim-flam, from getting hoodwinked by these hucksters. These people are experts in fleecing. They're experts in fleecing you out of your children's tuition money, fleecing you out of your 401k, but you don't have no more 401k, out of your wife's 401k that she worked so hard. You understand me? So you guys cannot continue being lambones and sapos. You know what a sapo is? A sapo is a frog. It's a frog, okay? A sapo is a frog. I don't practice using foul language. So when you hear my Spanish sayings, they're just, sapo means frog. Lambones means he's a licker. He licks. Lambones, with a tongue, he licks. So you guys, don't get a complex and think that I'm saying bad things to you guys. And you know what a sandbag is? A sandbag is a person that's not treated fairly, not treated honestly. They're always being lied to. It's a sandbag. That's what it means. It means that you guys are being treated unfairly, by these Meshuggahs. But I got to tell you the truth, because I come from the low, from the low world where, I seen things that they're not good. And, and I must tell you these things. I must tell you these things because, it's the truth. You're gonna have people here that they're gonna say, well, I believe that, listen to this. You're gonna have people that are gonna tell you, well, I believe that the Omega watch, manufacturers, they get pieces, and their watches are made in China, and then the next day they get greased up, and they say, well, I never said that, and and then they change because it's to their, convenience to change, But I'm never gonna change. I'm gonna tell you the truth because you need to hear the truth, guys. You guys cannot, Oh man, you're gonna lose a lot of zeros when you polish your watch. I'm gonna go into a watch market update. I'm gonna give you a watch market update so you guys know what's happening with these watches, okay? Some of the watches that I'm gonna give you are from subscribers who have asked me if I can tell them, a watch price on the watch, and I'm gonna give it to them. If any of you out there want to hear, prices on watches that you like, that you're thinking of buying, just send me put a comment, put a comment. Hey, can you let me know about this watch? Maybe I won't get you today or tomorrow, but I'm going to get you. I know you're there already, and I'll give you that watch market update. Okay, guys? So Here goes the first watch market update. The Audemars Piguet Royal Oak Stainless Steel 41 millimeter, reference number 26240. Chrono, green dial, unbelievable. You know, this watch has a retail price of $38,500. And this watch, you know, when it first was released, because of the green color, it blew up. You know, everybody wanted the green, and they were paying 150, 175. They were paying crazy money for this watch. Crazy money they were paying for this watch. It's unbelievable but true, ladies and gentlemen. The AP Royal Oak 26240 41 millimeter green dial chrono with a retail price of $38,500. And I'm going to tell you, ladies and gentlemen, you do whatever you want with your money. You do whatever you want. It's your money, and you do whatever you want. I mean, I cannot, control you what you do with your pockets. I can't. But don't pay for that watch, and I mean this from the bottom of my heart. Don't pay more, and I mean don't pay more than $51,000. And you're paying $51,000 because the watch has a green dial. Don't be mischievous. Green, white, black, gray, silver, whatever it is, it's the same price. No sean lambones. No sean lambones. I explained to you what the Rolex stainless steel oyster perpetual pistachio. They come in this color, this color, and this color. But the one they want is the pistachio. It's an embarrassment to say that a watch that costs $6,800, they're asking for the watch, ladies and gentlemen, $19,000. Bobby, it's scary, man. It's scary. And there's no money out there, man. There's no money out there. I mean, you guys do whatever you want. Our next watch is an AP Royal Oak white gold frosted chrono. This is unbelievable. White gold frosted chronograph. Unbelievable. Reference number 26331 BC. Only 200 of these watches were produced. 200. And ladies and gentlemen, this watch in the Corona beer era, I'm going to tell you because I have to tell you, it's sickening, man. It really is. People lost so much money. It's unbelievable. This watch went all the way up, all the way up, like the song, all the way up, all the way up. They're not like us. They're not like us, like the song. They're not like us. They gave away for that watch over $600,000. And you're saying, but what do you mean? Well, what does it have? I'll tell you now. It has a purple dial. Purple dial. Frosted. White gold. Chronograph. Only 200 pieces around the world, ladies and gentlemen. Unbelievable but true, ladies and gentlemen. This is crazy. You had to be a mammoth. You had to be colossal. You had to be someone that was willing throughout the years to get this, to get that watch. They take you through the back door. They do this to you, Before you get that watch, you had to buy, I don't know how many watches you had to buy. But in the gray watch market, it went all the way up, man, to $600,000. And ladies and gentlemen, you do whatever you want. But don't you dare pay for that beautiful AP Royal Oak White Gold Chrono, frosted purple dial. Unbelievable. Don't pay more. And I mean this, don't pay more. Sir, this is for you, sir. Don't pay more. Sir, listen, this is for you. This is an unbelievable watch, guys, to be honest, all right? But not at $600,000. Don't pay for that watch more than $168,000. And give me the sign. There. You do whatever you want with your money. You do whatever you want. Our next watch is another watch that is sad because these watch models have dropped faster than Bill Clinton's pants in an Arkansas farmhouse. We're talking about the Audemars Piguet Royal Oak Offshore. 42 millimeter. Diver's watch. Unbelievable with the yellow and blue dial. Unbelievable this watch, ladies and gentlemen. Unbelievable with a yellow strap. Reference number 15710. Retail price of this watch, ladies and gentlemen, is $27,000. Listen and learn. No sean lambones. No sean lambones. No sean lambones. Manishma. Yalla. Manishma. Unbelievable, ladies and gentlemen. This watch, the retail price of that watch is $27,000. $27,000. This is like a 2019, 2018, you know, unbelievable. Full set, full kit, unbelievable. Don't pay for that watch. This is a 42 millimeter. Oh my God, Maximo. Wow. Maximo, ladies and gentlemen, said $16,000. You know, we voice it out here. We're not afraid. We're not afraid. You know, we're not afraid. We tell you what it is. They're not like us. They're not like us. Maximo said $16,000. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm going to tell you. Listen up, Maximo. It's for you. Don't pay for that watch, that offshore. Don't pay more for that diver. 42 millimeter. Don't pay more than $16,500. And dumping! Dumping! And if you want it cheaper, wait until July, August. You get them. Get them real good. You did. You do whatever you want. I don't know who that Maximo was, but he says $16,000. He's up there somewhere. He says $16,000. You do whatever you want with your money. It's your money. You do whatever you want. Ladies and gentlemen, our next watch is an AP Royal Oak Offshore 43 millimeter with a gray and blue dial, with the gauges in blue, the dial gray. You know, unbelievable. This is an unbelievable watch, ladies and gentlemen. Listen to me. Listen to me. The watch market he did. The watch market he did in a backyard pool and floating like this. He did. No matter what they tell you, the watch market is dead in a backyard pool and floating face down. Unbelievable, but true. I'm telling you what it is, ladies and gentlemen. I'm telling you, you do whatever you want. Unbelievable. Gray dial, blue gauges, you know, gray strap. Reference number 26420IO. IO. Unbelievable, ladies and gentlemen. Unbelievable. IO. What a watch. What a watch. But ladies and gentlemen, the crazy thing about this watch, the retail price of this watch is going to blow your hair back and knock your socks off. The retail price is $42,900. $42,900 for an AP Royal Oak Offshore. You know, unbelievable. I don't like to leave nothing behind. Titanium. Titan. Titan, ¿verdad, Kino? Titan. Unbelievable. You know it was skid marks. Unbelievable. And let me tell you, ladies and gentlemen, you do whatever you want. We're talking about, this is almost a brand new watch. You know? Brand new in years, you know? Not in condition, but in years, you know? 2023, you know? You understand me? 24. And I'm going to tell you, ladies and gentlemen, you do whatever. Kino, no te metas. No te metas. No me des más. No te metas. No, papi, no te metas. No te metas. Don't pay for that watch more than $27,500. And ¡dame! ¡Dame! Guántame para atrás. Guántame. Guántame para atrás. Guántame para atrás. ¡Dame! 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 Did. You do whatever you want, ladies and gentlemen. You do whatever you want. This is the #1 watch market update show in the world, chosen by no other than Fudinki. We are the #1 channel hated throughout the world. We're hated. Hated throughout the world. You know, we got 31 organic watch channel subscribers and 32 thumbs up. That's unbelievable. It's unbelievable. You do whatever you want, ladies and gentlemen. You do whatever you want. Our next watch, ladies and gentlemen, is an AP Royal Oak Yellow Gold Ladies and gentlemen, this watch here is an unbelievable watch. And I mean this. I want you to listen to this watch. This is right here is a Royal Oak Yellow Gold Crown. Reference number, listen, you could start already Googling it, right? Googling it. Reference number is 26240BA. Listen and learn. Chronograph, 41 millimeter. You know, the bracelet is yellow gold. The casing is yellow gold. And ladies and gentlemen, the dial is matching yellow gold with the whole watch. In other words, you can't even see the inside. It's chrono, but it's just all gold, even the dial. And they call that dial the ALYX. Unbelievable, ladies and gentlemen. Unbelievable. Extremely rare. Extremely rare, ladies and gentlemen. Listen and learn so you know where things are heading to. They were made of these watches. They were made of these watches. Unbelievable. This is sad to see that, you know, something like this. I don't know how many pieces they were made. But they were made like 200 pieces. You know, 202 pieces were made. And ladies and gentlemen, this is a super limited edition watch. 202 pieces. Unbelievable, ladies and gentlemen. Unbelievable. The retail price of this watch is $78,200. This watch went all the way up, you know, to some stupid money, you know, stupid money. This is a watch that, you know, it's already starting to look, you know, like we can look at it, you know, 200 units, you know, this is the price in the 70s, high 70s. And this watch at one moment, I'm telling you, they're asking right now for that watch over 200 up there, you know, the comps, you know, 225, 200, 198. And I'm going to tell you, ladies and gentlemen, you do yourself a favor, don't pay for that watch. Don't pay for that watch more. They have to hate me. Of course they're going to hate me. Wait till you hear the price. You know, these people want to keep on driving red, gold, fast cars. You know, they want to have Nike, Louis Vuitton sneakers. You know, Supreme hoodies, Montclair sweaters. You understand me? Unbelievable. Sushi dinners, steak dinners, $17,000 steak dinners. Of course they're going to help me. They're going to hate me, you know? And I'm going to tell you, don't pay for that watch. Don't pay for that watch more than $147,000. And dumping, dead. You do whatever you want, ladies and gentlemen. You do whatever you want. Now watch this, ladies and gentlemen. I'm going to talk to you now about the same watch. The purple one. You know the purple one? You know the purple frosted gold, white gold, you know, with the purple dial chrono? I'm going to talk to you the same watch. Watch this now. This is the AP Royal Oak white gold 41 millimeter frosted chrono. It has just a black dial. Black dial. Just a black dial, ladies and gentlemen. Black dial with silver gauges. Unbelievable. Unbelievable. $84,700 is the retail price of that watch. $84,700. Unbelievable time machine, ladies and gentlemen. This is an unbelievable time machine. And I'm going to tell you, ladies and gentlemen, you need to get it full set with all the bells and whistles. If you don't get it that way, you don't want it. And I'm going to tell you, don't pay for that AP Royal Oak. For that AP Royal Oak, white gold, frosted, chrono, black dial, don't pay more than $77,000 and dumping. How much are you paying for the purple dial? Ask yourself that question. How much are you paying for the purple dial? How much? El tranquilo. Our next watch is a Rolex. Your favorite watch brand, Rolex. Rolex date. With a meteorite dial with diamond baguette dial. Unbelievable. Meteorite dial, baguette diamond dial. Unbelievable. 40 millimeter. Reference number 228239. Retail price is $56,800. Ladies and gentlemen, this is an unbelievable looking time machine, and you can start looking for this watch already because it's dropping. They might tell you that it's not because right now, they have right now a situation going on that they are artificially hyping up prices to get you guys. But they can't because I'm blocking them. I'm blocking them. Listen to me, I'm blocking them. Okay? I'm a thorn. I'm a thorn. I'm a thorn, I'm a thorn ahí metido. I'm a thorn. Understand me? I'm like a bad hemorrhoid. Oh my God. Okay, guys. So the retail price is $56,800. Don't pay for that watch. You do whatever you want. You do whatever you want. I mean, if you want to continue maintaining these flim flammers lifestyle, that's up to you. You continue maintaining them, but don't pay for that watch more than $52,000 and dumping, 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 dead. You do whatever you want. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm going to talk about a watch brand which I believe seriously is one of the best watch factories out there. For real. The way they do their craftsmanship, their movements, their casing, their bracelet, their dials. I think they're number one in dials. They're the best. We're talking about no other than Vacheron Constantin overseas. Stainless steel with a black dial. The 7900V. This watch is from 2024. This is an embarrassment. If you like Vacheron Constantin, as I like it, listen up. This watch is unbelievable. 41 millimeter. Retail price of that watch is $30,900 plus your Uncle Sam's taxes. Unbelievable. This is crazy, ladies and gentlemen. Don't get hoodwinked. Don't get hoodwinked, ladies and gentlemen. Don't let them get you. Stop being crumb bums. Stop being sandbags. Stop being mashuganas. Listen to this gentleman, Salomon. Salomon is saying $20,000. And we're going to leave it right there. Nobody has to put another number up there. Salomon put it already. And I'm going to tell you, ladies and gentlemen, the watch retail price is $30,900 plus your Uncle Sam's taxes. And I'm going to tell you, this is sad because this is an unbelievable watch. I'm telling you, tremendo reloj. Es verdad, Kino, es tremendo reloj. Pero esto está jodido. The watch market is dead. And I'm going to be honest, Vacheron right now is hurting. They're hurting. I mean, es una belleza, papá. Es una belleza de verdad, seriamente, pero coño. I'm telling you, this is a watch that if I would say, hey, if you want, wait until July or August, right? I'm gonna have to tell you, man. I don't know if you're looking for that watch, and that's the price. Start looking into it. Don't pay for that watch. This is a full set, papi, full set. This is crazy, Damon. Don't pay more. And you heard Salomon what he said. He said $20K. Don't pay for that watch. More than $19,500 and dumping! Dumping! Bótame aquí uno. Bótame atrás. Jala atrás. Dumping! 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 Dead. You do whatever you want. You do whatever you want. Do whatever you want. You do whatever you want. Do whatever you want. You do whatever you want. Do what? You do whatever you want. Watch market is dead. I'm going to talk about another watch, which is an unbelievable watch. It is the FP Journe. Chronometre, souvenir, Havana, rose gold, with a brown dial. With a Havana dial, brown Havana dial. FP Journe. If you say to me right now, who do you compare as watch craftsmanship and movements and complications and all that, I'm going to tell you, I can compare FP Journe with with Patek Philippe, to be honest, and the complications. Forget about the Nautilus and the Aquanauts, and I'm talking about not even complications. Grand complications. I take it back. Grand complications is FP Jordan. I mean, these people, sickening. You know, these people produce like, I don't know, 2,500 units a year. You know, unbelievable. And to get an FP Jordan, to get any FP Jordan back in the Corona beer era, which was a couple of years ago, look at that, 1,000 per year. I said 2,500. Listen, Salomon, he showed me he's smart. Damon is showing me he's smart. And this is what we want on this channel. We want smart people. People that, you know, they stand out and say the truth. You know that? I like that. Salomon showed me that, hey man, that watch is worth $20,000. And he wasn't wrong. He was right. So what I'm trying to tell you is there's people out there, they're very well prepared already. They know what's happening. And then you have lambones. Lambones, they're questioning me. You know, asking me dodo bird questions. And then you have people like Damon, you have people like Mr. Blair, and you have people like, I don't know, Maximo, it was another one that said something, Salomon says something, you know. You got people that know what they're talking, you know, they're talking about. So anyway, you heard what Damon said, 1,000 units a year. And you couldn't buy one of these watches in that Corona era for $400,000, $275,000. It was crazy. And I'm going to tell you about this watch. The retail price of this watch is $43,960. Rose gold, the Havana dial, calibre 1304. And ladies and gentlemen, with all honesty, I got to tell you the truth. You saw the price, $43,960. And the price has gone down so much. Is it even with the $43,000? No, it's not even. But it's not even no more with the 300 it was. And I'm going to tell you, ladies and gentlemen, don't pay. Don't pay for that watch more. Here it goes. More than $76,000 and done. Done. Dead. Okay? You do whatever you want. You do whatever you want. It's your money. It's your money. You do whatever you want. Ladies and gentlemen, this is my last watch of the day. It's my last watch, and I really hope that you guys have learned something today with all the information that I have, you know, spread, you know, that I have given out for free. For free. For free. Won't be here for too long, but you got it for free. No te metas aquí, no. Yo digo lo que yo quiera. Después tú lo haces el canal lo que tú quieras. Tú vienes, you come over here, you sit down, and you do the show. I do whatever I want. Next watch is a Patek Philippe Complications. Patek Philippe Complications, 5905. Platinum, annual calendar, chronograph. Unbelievable watch. Unbelievable. Leather strap, alligator strap, whatever you want to call it. Unbelievable. Unbelievable. You know, unbelievable. Es que es así, papi, you know. El que nace para martillo, del cielo le caen los clavos. Repito, para ustedes latinoamericanos, el que nace para martillo, del cielo le caen los clavos. If you didn't understand what I said, you Google it. You Google it. Because I'm not going to tell you. I'm not going to tell you. I do enough for free. I do enough for free. Unbelievable. The retail price of that beautiful Patek Complications 5905 Platinum Annual Calendar Chronograph, unbelievable, Complications, is $89,890. Unbelievable, ladies and gentlemen. This is, Papi, this is, in a positive way, I'm going to say this. This is a stupid watch. This you put it on your wrist, and they throw panties at you. And sometimes they'll throw skid mark underwears. Oh my God. Sometimes they throw them to you, you know? Calzoncillos cagados. No te metas aquí, ¿no? No te metas, no te metas. No te metas en esto que es conmigo. No te metas. No te metas. And I'm going to tell you, ladies and gentlemen, here it is. For you guys, this is a beautiful watch. But don't pay for this beautiful patent complications 5905 platinum annual calendar chrono. 89,890 is the retail price. Don't pay for that watch and you want a full set. It's a badass watch. Don't pay for that watch more than $51,000. And there it is, ladies and gentlemen. I hope you learned something, and I hope you appreciate everything that me and Sweet Kikino, to me, Joaquin to you, do for you guys out there. You know, we're trying to help you guys as much as we can. We need other subscribers to, you know, start opening up their own channels. You know, so when I step down, there's somebody taking over. You have all the blueprints of everything that I have taught you guys. Because it's gonna be a moment there that I will. I gotta travel the world with my wife. My wife loves me, and I love my wife, and we must travel the world before we leave this world, if you know what I mean. All kidding aside, so a couple of you out there that are watching this, don't be scared. Open your own channel and repeat after me, because the more people out there like me, the better it is. Remember, it's just me against hundreds of thousands of them. All right? And again, I have a stop payment. You know when they put a stop payment on the check? I have a stop payment in my channel. Stop. I have 8,300 organic watch channel subscribers. And I got to tell you the truth. We get 40 subscribers watching my live stream because I have a stop payment on my channel. If you don't know what I mean, you Google it, because I'm not going to tell you. All right? Anyway, guys, I really hope you enjoy this watch market update show and you really learned something. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel and like the video. Oh, I forgot. We also have a private watch group. It's under my name, Juan Nieves. It's on Facebook. Go down to About and you'll find the Opusntime Watches, and maybe Samantha and Sweet Kikino let you in, if you fit the right, mold. And again, don't forget to subscribe to this channel and like the video. And like me and Sweet Kikino will say every week or every other day or every day, you know what it is. Take care and brush your hair. Peace.